My jealous sister-in-law stole my pregnancy announcement and gender reveal. Now, she also wants to change my baby's name. Ever since I met my sister-in-law, she seems to always want to have a competition with me. I don't know her deal, but whenever I give my mother a present or any family member, she would always come up with something bigger or more expensive. Like when I gave my mother an Hermes wallet for her birthday, she told my mom that she left her gift even though I saw it in her bag. Then next day she would give her an Hermes bag. She also liked to buy things that look exactly like mine. Things like my perfume, sandals, bags, and wallet, she would buy them with the very same brand and model. I always notice this but decides not to give it a serious thought because I don't want any conflict. Last month we had a family dinner and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to share that I am pregnant. Since this will be my only child, I wanted to make it special, and I also wanted to involve my nephew. I got a shirt that read, "This is what an awesome big cousin looks like." He put his sweater on over it and I told him he could take the sweater off whenever he wanted at dinner. In the middle of dinner, he took off the sweater and waited for someone to notice. Soon my sister jumped up and excitedly screamed when she saw the shirt, but they all then immediately assumed it was my sister-in-law. She and my brother had made it very clear to our family that they will be child-free. I wasn't hurt by them assuming this, and I kind of expected it because she is married and I am not. I was hurt because my sister-in-law didn't try to correct them and she just went along with it and began to rub her flat belly while laughing. I must have looked completely hurt because my mother yelled at me to stop being rude and to congratulate them. I tried to explain that I was the one who gave my nephew the shirt. They all didn't even hear me and just continued to fawn over my sister-in-law. My brother stood frozen in shock, just asking his wife if she was serious. But I got up and went home. I received multiple texts at this point from them telling me what an asshole I am for making this about me. They said that it wasn't my sister-in-law's fault that I was jealous. I didn't reply to anything and just cried myself to sleep. This morning my sister-in-law must have finally let it slip that she is not pregnant. They have all called me to apologize, saying that they just got caught up in the moment. They said I shouldn't have left the dinner and that it was my fault I wasn't clear enough that I was the one who was pregnant. My mom said I could have a redo dinner so I could get it right and they would all act surprised. Meanwhile, my sister-in-law sent me a message that said the way I chose to announce was how she wanted to do it if she ever got pregnant. She said that since she is not ever having a child, she just wanted to experience what the moment would be like. She also said I can have my chance at the redo dinner. I told them no and that I will not be doing a redo. Every single person has told me I am being selfish and an asshole because I won't let them make it right. Also, my sister-in-law convinced my brother that it was all a joke that just went horribly wrong. I knew this was total bullshit and that she was lying. But my brother told me that he loves his wife and this was all just a misunderstanding. He told me I was cruel for holding a joke gone wrong against her and that we both needed to get over it. I went low contact with them and they did not contact me as well until I received news that my sister-in-law is now pregnant. I found out when I received an invitation to her upcoming gender reveal Zoom party in my email. I had been doing well with having no contact with most of my family, but I couldn't seem to let go of the feeling that I was being selfish and not supportive of my brother. My parents did not apologize for their part in what happened at my pregnancy announcement. They didn't even really acknowledge that anything had happened between us at all. They don't ask me much about my pregnancy or my baby. They have only been interested enough to ask 2 questions. They asked what my child's last name would be since I'm a single mother and what the gender is. I told them I would not be sharing the gender of my baby until the birth. Today was the gender reveal Zoom party. We were instructed to wear blue or pink depending on what we thought the gender would be. I chose to wear pink since the only dress I own that fits me right now happens to be pink. As all the attendees logged onto the Zoom call, everything seemed to be going rather well. My parents were in head-to-toe blue and said it was because they were excited that my brother was finally carrying on the family name. My sister-in-law and brother were dressed opposite in all pink. Everyone seemed happy and ready to celebrate. My sister-in-law had chosen to pop a large balloon filled with confetti that would reveal the gender. She popped the balloon and out came a cloud of blue confetti. My parents began to cry and cheer at the announcement. My brother and everyone else was smiling and clapping, but my sister-in-law on the other hand was not. The next few moments were filled with all of the guests saying their congratulations and my sister-in-law stayed perfectly silent throughout all of it. She seemed somewhat emotionless until I piped up to say my congratulations. I said to them both, "Congratulations on your little boy. His cousin can't wait to meet him." My sister-in-law went insane. She began screaming that I was trying to steal the spotlight away from her by mentioning my baby. She said that I was being jealous and petty over my birth announcement disaster. She then asked me, "What are you ing having anyway?" She demanded to know the gender of my baby and began asking if it was a girl. She then said that I must be having a girl since I'm wearing a pink dress. My parents and other family members did little to stop my sister-in-law's meltdown. I chose not to fight with her or to try to reason with her. I just exited the call and let it go. I don't know what my sister-in-law's problem is or why she is behaving this way. I don't care, and I'm not going to let things like this bother me anymore. It was a bad idea to break no contact. Update: my jealous sister-in-law stole my pregnancy announcement and gender reveal. Now, she also wants to change my baby's name. Unfortunately, my sister-in-law's drama just seems to progressively get worse. My sister-in-law found out that I was expecting a girl about 2 weeks ago. She found the gender by logging into my Amazon account without my permission and looking through my private lists. I had given my brother the login information for my Prime account so that he could watch a show he wanted to see. I had not expected her to log into the main account and view my private wish lists and past orders. I was extremely hurt and devastated that she had gone this far. She took another special moment from me because she went ahead and told the rest of my family the gender. She seems proud of herself for doing this and thinks she is justified because I was keeping secrets. She actually thinks that this is a funny story and blames her pregnancy brain for any of her poor behavior. I finally snapped and told her what she did was appalling and deeply troubling. I told her that she had ruined every major moment in my pregnancy and that I could not believe that she was proud of it. I told her she should be ashamed of herself and that I was embarrassed for her. I told them that at this point I won't be allowing my daughter to call her aunt because she doesn't deserve it. She had a meltdown after this and accused me of trying to get her to miscarry. My brother and other family members tried to jump in to defend her, but I made it clear that I would remove them from my life as well if they continue to defend her. They have since shut their mouths and begun to agree with me. My sister-in-law gave me a half-hearted apology and said we needed to make up for the sake of the kids. I do want to be a part of my new baby nephew's life, so I do feel a bit stuck in the situation. I agreed to just let it go and try to move on. But I made it clear to her and everyone else that they were on very thin ice. Since everyone now knows that I am having a girl, I have refused to tell anyone the name that I intend to give my daughter. I want to at least keep that part for me to announce when I have my child. I haven't even really written it down because I fear someone will find out. My sister-in-law has asked me many times, but I just tell her that I haven't decided yet. This last week she started sending me girls' names that she is calling dibs on. I reminded her that she is having a boy, but she seems to be in denial about the fact. She likes to say that we won't really know the genders for certain until the babies are born. Most of the names are ones I have no interest in as we have very different styles. She sends me about 4 to 5 names off her list each day. My daughter is named after my great-grandmother and it fits her perfectly. I announced my daughter's birth and her name in a message to my family while I was in the hospital. But my sister-in-law wasn't happy about my name choice. She was even angrier when she heard the nickname I chose for my daughter. It's a shortened version of her name that was also listed on sister-in-law's dibs list. She posted on social media about my daughter's birth, and in the announcement she referred to my baby by a different name. She says that it's her own special nickname for my daughter. Think something like if her name was Grace she decided to nickname her something like Gilly. It's very weird and doesn't even resemble my child's name at all. I told her immediately to stop and to call my daughter by her proper name or the nickname that I chose. I knew she was only doing it to bother me and that getting upset would just encourage her more. She stopped for a short time but never removed her social media post. I had my family over to meet the baby a week after I came home from the hospital. That's when sister-in-law started up with her games again. She purchased a bear for my daughter with Gilly embroidered across it. After opening that stupid bear, my family members laughed and told me to stop being so controlling. They told me to get over it and that sister-in-law's nickname is cute. They too started to use the Gilly name. I felt like I couldn't even name my own baby and they thought I should just be okay with it. I realized then that none of them were ever going to change how they treated me. I saw that what I was allowing to happen was just as bad as what they were doing. I was allowing myself to be belittled, hurt, and used time and time again. The family members who did nothing are just as bad in my opinion because they've never even tried to defend me. I threw the bear in the garbage in front of them and told them all to leave my house. They are all just as bad as sister-in-law in my opinion. I couldn't bring myself to yell or scream, but I stood firm. I removed my daughter from my mother's arms and showed them all the door. There was a lot of name-calling, but I stood my ground. I'm done. I haven't spoken to them since. They haven't even tried to contact me. Regardless of family or anything, I am extremely happy right now. My daughter is the greatest baby imaginable. I am so overjoyed to be her mother. Then my brother was able to get in contact with me by calling from a different phone. He said my sister-in-law left my brother shortly after the birth of my nephew. She never returned home after being released from the hospital. My brother tells me my sister-in-law said she didn't want to be my nephew's mother and this was all too much for her. He has not heard from her since.